truth behind CR7 missing news.
Cristiano Ronaldo himself never uttered a word about that night, maintaining a silence that only fueled the growing fire of speculation. The theories that emerged within high-level security circles were nothing short of chilling. Some experts pointed to a classified, government-level simulation test designed to measure transport vulnerability under total signal blackout conditions, while others suggested a sophisticated, coordinated cyber interference drill involving advanced satellite signal disruption. The most unsettling whispers, however, centered on the idea that an unknown party had successfully tested the limits of global surveillance, proving that even the most famous person on Earth could be erased from the digital map for nearly an hour without triggering an immediate, automated response. Today, the case remains an official blank. No formal investigation was ever made public, and no truth was ever confirmed. It remains a 42-minute ghost in the machine, a mystery that serves as a haunting reminder that in our age of total surveillance, the most dangerous stories are not those that end in visible chaos, but those that return to normal just a little too quickly. Communication signals, which were supposed to be encrypted and redundant, began to decay at an alarming rate. While the team initially blamed tunnel interference, the lead vehicle confirmed they were on an open stretch. There were no tunnels on that route. Then, total radio silence fell. It was an eerie experience. There was no static, no rhythmic distortion, just a dead, absolute void where voices should have been. According to partial, reconstructed GPS data pulled weeks later, the convoy took a turn that defied every security directive. The lead vehicle made a shocking deviation, veering onto a restricted industrial bypass road that had never been part of any approved security plan. Most disturbingly, Ronaldo's primary vehicle came to a complete, dead stop for 3 agonizing minutes in an unmarked, desolate location in the heart of the industrial zone. Security logs later reviewed by investigators showed no emergency, no mechanical issue, and no scheduled meeting. The vehicle simply stood still in the dark, an isolated island in the middle of a mystery. When communication was abruptly restored at 12:19 a.m., the convoy appeared physically intact, but the digital reality was permanently broken. One support vehicle had completely vanished from the real-time tracking system, yet it was still physically present in the line. The primary security camera housed inside Ronaldo's car, designed to be tamper-proof, had been manually reset. Even more chillingly, the footage for that 42-minute window was not just deleted, it was corrupted at a deep, structural level, as if the hardware itself refused to process or display what had actually transpired inside the vehicle. In the chaotic days that followed, the internal accounts were a mess of contradictions. One guard insisted everything was perfectly normal, another refused to speak a single word about the incident to anyone, and a third, a veteran of the team, resigned within 48 hours without offering any explanation. The 42-minute gap, the unexplained disappearance of CR7. It was a cold, electrifying Champions League night in Europe, the kind of atmosphere where the air feels heavy with anticipation. The stadium was packed to capacity with over 60,000 screaming fans, their collective chants echoing through the rafters as they waited for one man, Cristiano Ronaldo. As the match kicked off, the stadium became a cauldron of noise and color. Ronaldo, as expected, delivered a masterclass, dominating the pitch with a level of precision and raw athleticism that left the opposition helpless. He moved with a supernatural grace, dictating the flow of the game, and by the time the final whistle blew, he had once again cemented his status as a global icon. When he finally walked off the pitch, the cameras trailed his every movement, capturing the exhausted yet triumphant expression on his face as he headed toward his high-security motorcade, a ritual that had been repeated thousands of times throughout his legendary career. At exactly 11:47 p.m., the convoy exited the stadium zone, slipping into the night. Everything appeared to be following standard security protocol. The lead vehicles signaled the route, and the support team maintained their positions. Traffic cameras captured the vehicles moving smoothly down the main highway, their headlights cutting through the darkness. But then, at 11:53 p.m., the rhythm of the night shattered without warning. Every single traffic camera covering a 2.3-kilometer stretch suddenly experienced a synchronized, total blackout. This was not a simple technical glitch or a rolling hardware failure, it was a clean, absolute erasure of digital oversight that lasted for exactly 42 minutes. For those 42 minutes, the world's most recognizable person simply ceased to exist on the grid. Inside the convoy, the security details suddenly faced a terrifying, unprecedented anomaly.